Hey boys and girls, so tonight I am going to make my smoked sausage and peppers hoagie. Got some nice pretzel buns, we got some red peppers, green peppers, nice yellow onion. We got a sweet Italian and a spicy Italian, and we got beer. So, essentially I like to cut everything up. I like to get it in a pan and just let it soak for a little bit. And then what I'll do is I'll take the sausage out, put it on the smoker, throw some smoke at it nice and low for a little bit, get the iron out there, the griddle, and get a nice char after the onions and the peppers have been soaking in the beer. Force some of that liquid out, and then some of it, just get a nice char on some things, and toss those back into that beer. After I smoke the sausages, I'll toss them into the beer. I let them go for a little bit, just to kind of get back in, and it actually pretty much finishes the sausages off. Then I'll pull them out, toss them on some fire, and burn them a little bit, you know what I mean? And then we'll slice them up and we'll build some hoagies. Again, out of the beer and a little beef stock, we'll make almost like an Italian, Italian beef gravy, loosely calling it gravy, because it really just coats the peppers and the onions and just kind of gives it that moisture. So that way you're not putting anything else on the thing. You're not putting any mustard on it. You're not putting any ketchup on it. You're not putting anything on it. So first, let's get our sausages out. I mean, you can use any kind of blend of sausage. I just like the blend of the sweet and the heat. I just find it works real good. We're gonna toss a little meat meth in there, and we are just going to get some flavor going. So, we are going to take our sausages. I got 4 of each here. So we're gonna toss these guys in the pan. Don't worry about them being crowded, it doesn't matter. So, and then we're gonna take our beer. I'm using a Kona Big Wave. It's an ale, golden ale. It's good stuff. And since I usually have to drive to Illinois to pick up my 805 because they don't sell it here in Missouri, and I got hooked when I lived in Vegas, I don't like using that for cooking. You know what I mean? So we're going to get some beer in here. 1 second, I have to let the dog in. Sorry. I'm coming, buddy. Come on. Sorry about that. Get 2 bottles in here. Let those get sitting. And try to make quick work of these peppers anyway. I'm not so worried about some of the seeds, Keep some of it in there. Sprinkle them on in. Nice size, because they'll shrink down, And we want to know they're on there, you know what I'm saying? Usually do them about 1/4 inch. Excuse me. Oh man, my reds have seen better days. I guess they were in the fridge a little too long. They're a little soft, but we're not going to get rid of them. You could use any, you know, yellow, orange, whatever. Gonna mix them up so some get underneath the peppers. I mean, not underneath the sausage. Woohoo! Oh no, it's bit me. Give these a little bit of a stir around. Make sure some get underneath, you know. Oh, clean up. Dog's loving that. Loves when Daddy drops them. These I usually do half moon on my onions. This makes it easier, you know. I'm trying to do this quick instead of dealing with time lapse and all that. In case you guys haven't noticed, I'm not exactly a master video editor, you know what I'm saying? So, again, nice quarter, you know. Vary them up a little bit so you have different textures. You know, they all cook the same amount of time, but then, you know, some of them just have still a little bit of a crunch to them. Some of them are nice and charred, you know. We don't need to be perfect, is what I'm saying. It's a nice rough chop on these guys. Ooh, get buck wild there. All right. So now, all the kids are in the pool. Mixed up nice. And now we have our fine meat meth here. Woo! Stuff's gonna be so good, it's giving me the feels, man. I'm crying. So we're just gonna give her a little dusting. A little something, something. Just like so. So now I'm gonna keep this in the pan. I'm just gonna let them sit out while I get everything else situated, get the grill going, get my iron out, all that other good stuff. And we're just gonna let that bad boy sit right there and let everything get to know each other, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna let that sit, we'll get the pit lit, and start cooking. All right, guys, so we're gonna start the grill. We're going to start it at 225, and we'll pull the sausages out of that beer that we got them soaking in, and then we'll throw some smoke at them. So get them nice, get a little smoke flavor in there, and then we're gonna toss them back in the pan of beer and let them just kind of suck in and soak up that stuff a little bit. Then we're gonna sear them off. So cheers, let's do this. So we got, should be enough. You know, there was an app update the other day, but I haven't been around, and I didn't actually cook last night, so I don't even know if there's a firmware update. So I'm probably gonna find out the hard way. Be nice if they notified you, you know, like, hey, firmware update, without having to actually start the grill. But I guess, you know, I mean, it knows what you had previously. So I think the current version is 1.1.1372, I think. So I don't know. I'll double check. I'll look in the app after this thing's up and running and see what's going on. So see if it's going to require one. I would assume it would prompt me on the controller as well. Hell, I have no idea. So I don't know. So I'm going to let that get up to 225. And we're going to throw our pan on there, let that soak in some smoke, and let our sausages soak in some smoke. So we'll be back. All right, guys, we are at 225. Got a bit distracted. So let's get them on. Trying to get some better angles, like in the kitchen, you know, that kind of stuff. Woo! Man, what the hell did I cook last? Made a mess. It's all right. It's all right. So I'm gonna throw my pan on. We're gonna let that soak some of that up too, and take our sausages out. Put them guys right over that flavorizer bar. We're only at 225, so should be able to soak in some love. They've already been soaking in that beer now for probably a good, I don't know, good hour or so. Man, I need more room. Do they sell a 48-inch one of these? They really should. Try not to keep them touching, you know. You want that smoke to wrap around. I'm sure I'm not telling you guys anything you don't know, though. Man. All right, is that all of them? That is all of them. All right, I'm going to give these guys a nice little mix. Get them in that beer. All right, I'm gonna throw some smoke at them guys, just until I see some color. You know, I don't want them completely cooked through because, excuse me, I'm going to be tossing them back in the beer bath. I'm gonna let that cook in there with the peppers and the onions and things like that. In a little bit, I will bring my iron out, my griddle, toss it on one side, so that way when it's time, I can light that bitch up, and we can caramelize and char up them onions and peppers a little bit, and then grill off the brats, you know, or I mean the sausages for the you know, the finish and stuff like that. You know, get a nice burn on them, nice little char. So that's it. I'm going to kick back, do some shit, drink some nos, smoke some butts, and let it do its thing. So, and I'll be back. All right, guys. So it's been, I don't know, about an hour, something like that, give or take. We got some nice color. Check them out. See, nice red. They've set up, so we are good to go. So I'm going to make some room for them, and we're going to toss them back in our beer bath that's been soaking up all that good stuff too, all that oak. Char hickory. Try to get them down into the liquid. I know this seems like just a lot of steps, but I'm telling you, it's worth it, man. They're tasty, full of flavor, man. Full of flavor. Oh, they don't want to play so well anymore. All right, so now I am going to toss on this guy. I'm gonna throw him over there, and I'm gonna hit it with just a little bit of avocado oil, a couple tablespoons. Let that stoke up some smoke too, while we wrap this bitch up. $400. So, excuse me again. So I'm gonna let her heat up. Let that stuff bubble up in that bath a little bit. Let everything just heat up. Get the skillet heat up, and then I'm going to throw the onions and the peppers in the skillet. Get a nice char on them, and then we're gonna grill off our sausages, and we are gonna be good to go. So we'll toss them all back in together. We'll go in and slice them up, and we'll build some hoagies. All right, guys, let's do some grilling now. So we got our iron. Let's see what we're at. We're at a good 440, 450. Can you guys see that? There we go. So we are ready. We are ready, ready, ready. So first off, I'm just gonna get these out of the way just quickly, because it's just easier to scoop the peppers and the onions and all that other good stuff out. And we're gonna put them back in there for a minute while we get a nice char on these, because they'll take a little longer than the sausages will to grill off, you know what I mean? So. All right, so now, give them a good shake. Woo! As many as we can out. There we go. That'll work. All right. Now let's put our sausages back in. Let them really soak up that moisture. All that good beer. Our meat meth. All that onion and pepper flavor. I swear these damn things grew. Alright. Alright, we're gonna do that. Alright, I'm gonna let them go for a little bit, check on them, toss them around. There's a lot of moisture in them things, so it is gonna take a minute. So once we cook that stuff out, it burns off that iron a little bit. Not to mention it's gonna, it's creating moisture at the same time. So I'm gonna let them go, get them nice, bring them down, just reduce them down, loosen them up, give them a little char, and then we're gonna grill off the sausages later. All right, we're back. Look at that. Oh man, that's beautiful. Nice and soft. Got some little char bites down there. That's what I'm talking about, guys. Look at that. Look at that. Whew. I'd eat it. And I ain't saying it just because I made it. Let those finish off. Let's grill, shall we? Woo, it's hot. right over that flavorizer bar. And we'd be grilling. So, throw some smoke at it. Look at that. Look at that. Come on. Even at 400 degrees. Still rolling smoke in there. So, just the way to do it. Way to do it. Oh man. See that? That's what flavorizer bars do. Yum. Yum, yum. Woo-hoo. They're just bursting. Flaming. That's what I'm talking about. Damn. That's beautiful. Soaking in flavor. All right, I'm gonna let them grow for a minute. I'm gonna give them a flip, and we're gonna be ready. Check that out. Oh, see all that stuff burning off them flavorizer bars? Man, think you were grilling over straight up fire, man. Look at that. That's beautiful. That's what I want to see right there, guys. She is a grilling machine, man. Woo! We got one over here that poked, and she is lighting it up. Beautiful. Okay, I want to get these guys in the flames over here, since we got such a good burn going on this side. Those fat ones. I think the fat ones are I think they're the sweet Italian. I'm not sure. I believe so. If I remember correctly, they are. Oh, yeah. They'll rearrange. I love that big one in the center. Just love it. Look at that. Nice. So nice. My last roll, and we'll be ready to go. Look at that. You guys see that? Man, take a picture of that shit. Now, take this right here. Toss these charred bad boys back in the liquid over here. And I'm going to grab my stock, and we're going to whip together a little, you know, that little gravy I was talking about. Come back, check it out. So we got about a tablespoon of flour here. I'm just going to dust our peppers and onions. Mixed in, make sure I get all them nice little char bits here. You know what? Let's bring this guy front and center so you can work with it a little bit better. I want to make sure we cook that flour off. You know what I'm saying? Just let that flour brown just for a minute. Otherwise, we're going to taste it, and that's no fun at all. Alright, so we got that cooked down. Now, let's take some of our beautiful beer over here. Get that in there. essentially made a pepper, onion, sausage, beer stock, you know what I'm saying? With some smoke. I'm gonna take some of that out. Look at that. Use that to glaze that bottom of that iron. And we're gonna take a little bit more. See how that's kind of getting thickened up? You know, it's almost like wrapping itself in some gravy. That's what we're gonna do. That should be enough right there. Look at that, guys. I'm telling you right there, that peppers and them onions with that gravy coating on there, that shit's next level, man. It's gonna be good. I'm gonna need nothing on that hoagie. Get this guy back in the liquid. Look at that. That's what I'm talking about. All right, I need 2 hands, so I'm gonna pull this stuff off. All right, so we're in shutdown, but we ain't wasting no heat. We gotta loosen these guys up. So we're just gonna let those guys get happy for a little bit. All right, guys, let's build some hoagies. This is what we got. We got our onions and peppers and that little gravy mixture. Over here, we got our sausages. We got our pretzel buns all toasted up a little bit, nice and soft. Let's build some. So we're gonna take a sweet and a spicy. Ooh, she's warm. Want them nice and thin, a little broken up. Kind of slice them out of bias a little here. So our buns aren't that big. Look at that, look how moist. Damn, that looks good. Ooh, that one shot me in the eye. Hot. I guess I could use my gloves. All right, so then we have our sausages. Give them a nice little mix. Best we can. Take our hoagie bun. I'm gonna tong these guys in. Pack them on down in there. Get a nice combo. And then we're gonna take some of this goodness here. Look at that. Oh, man. Oh, soldier down. Just like that. That's our hoagie, boys and girls. So. All right, I'm gonna make the rest of them. Natives are restless. We're gonna eat. That's all I got.